Hello and welcome back to Second Take Movies, the podcast where we give movies a second look, second chance, a second take, if you will. I'm your host, Preston Jenkinson, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Jake Twido.
Preston, what's going down?
How you doing?
I'm why a titty great.
Why a titty?
Why a
titty did he make this movie if he didn't want to?
Yeah, I don't think he did, man. Straight up.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't. Should have been a one and done. He should have made Ragnarok, and they should have got someone else to do.
Come in, make a really fun movie, and then, I don't begrudge anybody, trying to make some money. But,
no, they made some. $510 million.
It made a lot of money. It did. But if you watch any of the promotional footage of this movie, it's like they're making fun of the CGI, and like everybody's like, "Oh, did that happen? Oh, really? I don't remember that." So it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But if you can tell by the title, we're talking about Thor: Love and Thunder today as we go through our Marvel Phase 4 movies.
Yeah.
This
the only one I wasn't looking forward to.
It's a low point.
And it's odd because it should be a high point. This should be a huge win. It's not.
Like, because Ragnarok was like such a... God, it's so great.
Was it was it because it was a shock of, whoa, I mean, Dark World was nightmarish.
Yeah.
Now you have this funny Thor, kind of.
It makes sense because he's been to Earth and he, talks to people.
True.
Kind of like, so he's got some experience on Earth and he wouldn't be as like, as he was,
Yeah, and I'm looking it up because I meant to do this. Yeah, that's what I thought. Taika, I can't even say it right now.
Taika
Waititi. It's stuck in my head.
Yeah.
He didn't write Ragnarok, but he wrote this.
Oh. Okay.
So there's why, in my opinion.
And I think I remember him, there's a quote somewhere where he said, I read a Thor comic, not even like a graphic novel, but like one of the thin ones, and I liked the artwork, and that was about it.
Sounds pretty right.
He used a lot of images from those comics in this, because the God Butcher storyline was like a long...
What a waste of a character.
Thing, yeah. Anyway, so the story of said movie is Thor enlists the help of Valkyrie Korg and ex-girlfriend Jane Foster to fight Gore, the God Butcher, who intends to make the gods extinct. Does he want to make the gods extinct? Because he doesn't seem to...
Well, that's what kills me. I mean, I hate to spoil the ending. Dude, if your goal was just to reach that and wish your daughter alive, you didn't have to kill anybody.
Yeah, you could have just gone for Thor and gotten his hammer or his...
And even better than that,
axe.
If your wish was going to be to kill the gods the whole time, but you could have just wished your daughter alive.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest plot hole I've ever seen.
Yeah, I guess your excuse would be you were blinded by rage on one singular...
I guess the sword.
Yeah, the sword kind of tempted him, and yeah. Positive review from Therese Laxon of Collider. I never once rolled my eyes at a joke that was clearly dropped in so it could be a zinger and make it to the trailer. It successfully silenced a rather jaded MCU fan by offering a story that had it all without having to sacrifice its soul to the MCU machine that is eager to churn out stories for future phases. Too many jokes in my opinion. Just like a bunch of shit that doesn't land. Our negative review from Joshua Rivera from Polygon. Thor: Love and Thunder isn't just a misfire, it's a scam. Its characters only move forward in the most artificial ways. Their status at the end of the film is no more intriguing than it was at the beginning. It's the worst thing a film in this mode can be, inconsequential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie is nothing but jokes.
Yeah.
Everything has to be silly, which is weird because you watch Taika Waititi's. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said it from the start. Now it's just really stuck.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Waititi. Anyway, Waititi.
That's that Pickens
Taika
accent coming out.
Waititi. There's other movies like there's comedy in them,
Yeah,
but
they're
not
comedies.
all jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like Jojo Rabbit, it's a comedy, but also it's not. Escape for the Wilder People, whatever that was.
Hunt for the Wilder People.
Thank you. I watched that this year for the first time. It was wicked.
Amazing.
Yeah. I just
have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
No, I need to see it.
That's in my opinion, that's his best movie.
Everybody tells me that's their favorite, and I keep being like, I gotta watch it. So maybe I might watch it tomorrow. Actually,
it's quick. It's like
I'm trying to watch new movies on Thursdays, ones I haven't seen. I don't know, man. It just sucks. It's like it's a director I really like. I really like the stuff he does. This isn't right for him. You text me. What's the dumb rock guy? Gore? No,
Korg. I fucking hate Korg. This
Stupid.
movie made me hate Korg.
They shouldn't have thrown him in the whole movie.
Like in Ragnarok, hilarious. Has one or two, three lines, and like it's just a good joke delivery, and then he's out.
Yeah.
In this
Instead, you get Taika Waititi
narrating the story.
And that's the problem. There's too much of him in this movie.
It's too much. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like,
hey man,
I don't know. I like the guy. He's great.
Yeah.
This is too much.
Yeah.
Like you can't get through a scene without making a stupid joke. Most of them to me fall flat.
Yeah. Like the whistling thing. I wanted to stab somebody in the eye if I had to hear one more joke about him trying to whistle.
Did you ever watch Flight of the Conchords?
No,
TV show. It's a New Zealand show.
It's Taika Waititi made that show.
Okay, I thought he did.
Yeah.
Those jokes in there are very similar to this, but they work there and they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Here, no.
It's just like
weird.
boom,
The
boom,
best parts of this movie are the
boom.
most serious ones.
Yeah.
Which, in a Marvel movie, that's normally the opposite. Normally, the funny parts are really what you laugh and the action.
Like Natalie Portman dealing with. Honestly, this should have been Natalie Portman's movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they did. Because, I mean, to me, Hemsworth is kind of. He's not out, but.
Yeah.
He's pretty much out. Like, they should have really just let him be the side character, let her roll with it, man. Which.
Yeah, just like, let him come in, be like, oh, that's cool. Like, I tell you what you do. You pick this movie up right as he's about to leave Asgard right after Endgame and have her, like, show up, with that same storyline. Like, I felt like Mjolnir was calling to him, and he's like, oh, okay, well, let's try to figure that out. And then that's the first part of your movie. She gets her powers. And he's like, oh, man, come up with some way where he's like, okay, I'm going to go hang out with the Guardians now.
Yeah. Was he? I can't remember the beginning of this fully. Was he fat at the beginning of this?
He was. He was.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
Fat Thor to me is the dumbest thing they've ever done.
I liked it in Endgame because it was like a thing where this guy has never dealt with such huge loss before, and he's 1,500 years old. Like, he's never dealt with losing before.
Yeah.
So,
I don't mind.
I mean, for him to break down and like go into a depression and gain weight, and like I was like, yeah, they use it as jokes, but like they use that with great emotional stakes in that movie. But here it's played as a joke again. So we get Korg narrating. All right, kids, standing around. We're going to hear about Thor for the next 5 minutes. So yeah, he says he's joined the Guardians and he's lost. He had a dead bod, and now he trained and he's better and he grew up and he's Thor now. I like doing the voice. It's fun.
It's pretty close.
Hey man, and so he basically loses all the weight that he gained in Endgame, and he's now back to sexy Thor and hanging out with the Guardians.
Which, I'll be honest, the opening scene, I'm like, oh, this could be a good movie. This looks great. Even watching it again, I went, oh yeah, that's
honestly, make this a I'll even make you a business plan. Make this a 2-parter. First part is Jane's story. Second part is Thor with the Guardians, and then they all get together at the end and have to fight Christian Bale, who has killed a bunch of gods throughout 2 movies, and they're trying to figure out why.
Which, that's how the movie opens, is that entire thing. And I know it's one movie, he's not going to live through it, but I hate how quick they're like, here's Gore. Out.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, y'all didn't build him up or anything, which that's fine.
As soon as they cast Christian Bale, I was like, well, this is a one and done.
Yeah. But you have Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is killing it in this movie.
More. Yeah, he is the highlight of this movie. 100% the best part.
Menacing. Like, especially, well, actually with that, it's the movie actually starts with him carrying his dead daughter in this barren wasteland because his planet has dried up because his god has abandoned him. And it opens pretty great with like that shot of the shadow on the ground and the camera's kind of upside down. It's like a weird angle. So I was like, when you started, it's like, oh man, this is gonna be great. And then his daughter dies, and then he confronts the god that he worships and says, like, basically, we've all died. There's no one left to worship you.
I really thought that was going to be the tone of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dark, and then you could have some of his humor thrown out.
Yeah.
Nah, it's the opposite. It would have been such a better movie, I think. I mean, I can't say that, I guess.
But Taika Waititi, I mean, I don't know if it's solely him to blame, because he says there was a lot that was cut out of this movie. Like Christian Bale cutting out the scars on his head. There's a scene of that, but they had to, I think Marvel made him cut that. And he said there was like a 4-hour cut of this movie.
Don't ever release it.
Yeah.
No one wants to.
I want a condensed version of that. Like, put some stuff back in that I want, but
I mean, I could fully see where Disney and Marvel said, hey, people had so much fun with all the fun you had in the last one. Let's just only have the fun.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I don't know, that sucks. I think that's a lot of movies now.
I'm sure he cut a lot of dramatic stuff in this.
But Christian Bale, best part of this movie, biggest waste of talent in the movie.
Yes.
Killed me, because I mean, like, it is when they go to the nowhere world with the black and white. Oh man, it is just so good.
But Corridor even talked about that. They shot that on like some kind of special camera at like 6,000 frames or something, and even they were like, okay, but you didn't really use the effect that was intended.
Yeah, they made this crazy effect and didn't.
He's like, I can't. They were like, I can't tell where you used it. And this was also shot in the volume as well, and you can tell that in several scenes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
did you watch this on enhanced IMAX? By the way, when you rewatched it, okay, I did too. You know what? I liked that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it was pretty. I haven't paid attention to it. We've watched other stuff before.
I would prefer it if the whole movie was in enhanced IMAX.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Like, because Doctor Strange it was all in IMAX.
That's where I've seen it before.
Yeah.
The opening, he saves that entire, and it's perfect. Thor's an idiot. He saves that entire. He's such a
dumbass through this whole movie.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem. I don't know the comics super great. Thor's not an idiot necessarily.
No. I mean, he's in these movies. He has been like a himbo, good looking, not always making the best decision guy, but he's not an idiot.
Yeah. Like,
compare him to this and Infinity War, where he's like making a plan, like, okay, I need to go to Nidavellir. I need to make I need a new weapon, like, because I've got to kill Thanos. He kind
of goes back to the first Thor here of problem, I go.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like, okay, come on.
Yeah, this guy has went through way more than that to just start all over again with that.
I can't even remember. How does he go back to? What brings him back to Earth?
Oh, he figures out that Gore's killing all these gods, and
that's right. Okay,
which he killed 2. And we see other ones in like the Guardians hologram thing that they have, but
Yeah.
It's like pictures, and it's like, okay, he killed this giant. Honestly, I said this should have been Jane's movie. This should have been like an Infinity War where it's kind of like Thanos' movie.
Yeah.
And not the hero. So this kind of should have been Gore's movie, but call it Thor.
Love that.
Because Thor's the hero. Like, make this more of Gore's movie, and we follow him more than anybody else.
I think that would have been better. I think you have a movie where it's just Jane.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should have been. And Thor pops up. The Thor movie should have been all just gods. Don't even go to Earth. Screw it. Do nothing but go see all these other gods. Let them get killed, like him trying to save multiple ones. Yeah. And let it end with Zeus. Yeah. Like, man, that would have been so much better. Like, explore that world. That was interesting. When they went to Zeus's place, I was like, oh, yeah, this is cool. This is wild.
Goofy dumbass.
But you got Russell Crowe hamming it.
He's having fun. Like, I don't, this is a quick paycheck for him. Yeah. So anyway, they make it to Earth. And Gore starts, and I'll talk about it later. Gore starts attacking, and he kidnaps all the children. Yeah,
because he needs the Bifrost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know that point. And also, Lady Thor, Mighty Thor, however you want to call her.
Yeah, Mighty Thor. She's the Mighty Thor.
Yeah. So she grabs the hammer, which just cancer. The hammer's to try and keep her alive.
Mm-hmm. But actually, it's she gets power, but it like forces all of the chemo out of her system because that's poison. Yep. Which is it's a great storyline in the comics where she's worthy and she has cancer, and the hammer is just the more she uses the hammer, the more it kills her, which is
fantastic part of this movie, by the way.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Natalie Portman is always good.
Yeah, she's hot. I mean, she's great.
That too.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's nice when this movie has a lot of it. You have Christian Bale, you have Russell Crowe, you have her, like big actors doing movies that I wouldn't expect them to do.
Yeah. So Gore kidnaps all the kids, and I'll spare you the details of the play with Melissa McCarthy and the Matt Damon and
oh god, burn
Chris Hemsworth's older brother.
We're gonna get into it for a minute. Do you like Melissa McCarthy?
No, she's terrible.
Sweet. Keep on moving, loves her. We're good. I don't.
My mom thinks she's hilarious. I was like, well, she has one joke. Oh, I'm fat lady. That's it.
I like her in Gilmore Girls.
Now that movie Spy that she made with
I didn't see it.
Jason Statham and oh shoot, he was the bad guy from Captain Marvel, Jude Law.
Oh yeah, I'd watch that. I didn't realize that was Jude Law too.
Jason Statham has some of the best improv in that movie.
Speaking of which, Meg 2, it's coming out. Go to your local theater, watch Meg 2.
I never saw Meg 1, so.
Nah. That was some of the bullcrap where I was like, all right, we don't need this. You could have cut some stuff, cut this and put, I don't know, you're just rehashing something we've already seen.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to go through, this is what Ragnarok did. We're going to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And this is comic book logic, but my only question is if the hammer could be reforged and used again and it would repair itself back together, why hadn't it done that for Thor yet?
It's jealous of the other weapon, Preston.
That's another thing that's so fucking stupid. I want to slap somebody when I anyway.
Yeah.
Kids get kidnapped.
Tie my legs and poop and fill them up.
Thor has his third costume change into that.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's dumb. He gets terrible. The helmet finally. But
that first thing he goes into, like that leather armor and the fur on the collar.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's great.
Yep.
That's cool. But like,
I kind of wish he kept the t-shirt and vest he had at some point.
That too.
The whole time.
But that gold and blue
CGI butchery.
Yeah, that mask was terrible CGI.
But so here's my problem with a lot of Marvel stuff. We're gonna be here a while, but
I think so. We're already 20 minutes in.
Sweet. You gave him a helmet. Why didn't you make it look like the comic? If you're gonna do some kind of fan service,
her helmet looks more like the comic.
Yeah, it was great. I saw it first.
Her whole suit
outfit
is 100 times better than his.
Oh yeah, I don't get it. It's like, what are you guys doing? I mean, you look at Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. All you have to do is be pretty faithful to it. Doesn't matter what you do. I mean, of course, that's a great franchise, but
like someone I saw on the internet said, it's an over design.
Yeah,
it's overly designed.
And I think that's Marvel's MCU right now is that everything that someone wants a mark.
Get rid of nanotech phasing of the helmets on everything. Like, give me real helmets. I want real suits. Like, poor Chadwick Boseman never got like a real
suit.
Black Panther suit.
Yeah. Oh, he's dead. Yeah. God, I forgot. You said that, and I'm like, well, maybe in the next one. And I went,
that's why I said poor Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. Well, I was like, what are you saying that for? Oh, it clicked. I just forgot.
Yeah. So Thor rounds up the crew, and they head to Omnipotent City, which there's some fun stuff in that I enjoy. Like there are a lot of pretty good jokes through that whole thing. But
yeah, that one.
Also, those fucking goats, like.
Not needed. That is 100% Taika Waititi.
When this movie came out a year ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. July. Yeah, almost to the date.
Yeah. Like, that joke was already like 7 years old.
Yeah, but in New Zealand, it just caught on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It takes a while for stuff to get down there.
It takes 6 years to get around the world. So.
Gotcha. Okay. So they head up there to recruit Zeus and all the other gods to help stop Gore before he makes his way to eternity. That
entire again, Russell Crowe is goofy as fire.
Yeah.
They should have done it different, but at the same time, just watching Russell Crowe be an idiot, pretty much, it's like, yeah, all right, I'm on board.
Yeah,
let's go ahead, let's do this. But I don't know. They should have had more. Again, I already said my idea. I wish they stayed there more. That world more. But
that was definitely a volume scene.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anywhere that looks like round and closed in, that's your volume. So they go there, and of course
he gets naked, shows his dinger. Gets his dinger out. All those girls' panties came down. That's not the right saying.
His dingle's dangling. Which behind the scenes he just wore like skin toned shorts. So, and that's a CGI booty. Because I'm pretty sure Chris Hemsworth didn't want to be tied up for however many hours and butt naked for everybody.
Yeah.
So, of course, Zeus is a prick and lazy, and is kind of like the theme of this movie is like all gods are lazy and don't really care. And he says no, and then they try. There's a fight between Korg, Mighty Thor, and Valkyrie, who's also there. And they kill Zeus, we think. Supposedly, and then they take his thunderbolt and ride off to the next destination, which I think is the Shadow Realm is where they go. Yeah.
They go to the Shadow Realm, which it's awesome that he has that thunderbolt. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie now, Thor gets a new weapon though, and it's kind of like, okay, all right,
yeah. Which Valkyrie's using it mostly. In the scene.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
They go to the Shadow World. Is that Nowhere? No, Nowhere's in Guardians. That's a planet. So, yeah, you're right.
Shadow Realm's different. And it's one of the best shot scenes of this whole movie. Like, where just all the color just fades out, and then all their weapons provide the color in the scene. It's pretty great.
I hated it, though, because I watched it and went, this could have been more of the whole movie. They should have had this vibe the whole time. Like, just Go all in on this. Don't make this a cash grab.
Yeah. And then Gore has one of the greatest villain entrances I've ever seen. Like, all the shadows creep in, and he makes his way through the vine. Like, he looks like a skull. The way he's lit, his face looks like a skull, and he's fully deranged at this point.
Christian Bale, man. I mean, you could probably do a shot counter for this, but best part of this movie.
Yeah.
All that. The action in that whole thing, everybody acting was perfect. It's like, yeah, this is not going to get better than this now.
Him collecting a paycheck, he's still, like, doing great.
Which, I love actors like him and that end up in this. He did this because his kids begged him to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So I just love, like, most of people like that, it's because their kids want them and like, oh, okay, I'll do it. For a lot of money.
That's what Kate Beckinsale did in the last movie. That's why she did it.
Yeah.
It's like, but if I was him, I'd be like, excuse me, I'm Batman. Do you not remember that?
At this point, I didn't back the movie up. I went and looked at something. It's in my notes. Meek, the little worm at the beginning.
Yeah.
He wrote the entire plot for the movie on that board. When you go and look at it,
the entire plot of the movie is drawn out on that board.
I realized it at this point. I was like, oh, that's funny. Great.
Yeah. So they have a dust up, and Jane initially throws the Stormbreaker out the window because she realizes, like, on some paper.
Yeah, he's got documents and it's got the diagram that makes.
He needs Stormbreaker to get into eternity. And so they have a punch up and a fight, and Valkyrie gets stabbed, and they beat up Gore, I think, and then get away, but not without losing the Stormbreaker first through the Bifrost.
Yeah, so he stabs Valkyrie. They got to get her back because she's going to die.
Yeah.
They run away. While he's running, he grabs them and rips it out.
Yeah. So now he has the Necro Sword and Stormbreaker and the children. Why he stole the children, I still don't know. I don't understand why a villain called Gore the God Butcher, and his biggest threat is that he kidnapped some kids. Makes no sense. It also makes no sense because his daughter just died. Why would he have, even if, like, his lowest of low, why would he put other children in danger? He's a father.
I didn't understand. I mean, I understand it's the bait, but
yeah, he's a grieving father. Why would he, even in his, like, most revengiest of revenge moods, why would he do that? It
doesn't click.
That's the biggest problem for me. But anyway, we needed a conflict. So he boots them back to Earth. Jane loses her power. Kind of. Or she drops the hammer.
Yeah, he finds out she's got cancer here. And then I was like, oh, you know what?
Well, she tells him.
Yeah, tells him. Tells him on the boat.
But now
he really sees it.
And there's a pretty good moment between them close to the end where he's, like, trying to keep her, like, in the hospital. Like, look, like, you're dying of cancer. This is where you need to be. I'm going to go take care of this. You're good. What else happens?
That's pretty much it. Thor's going to go fight him by himself. He's going to take the lightning bolt and go.
Yeah, because Valkyrie got stabbed through the kidney. There's also a whole montage about Thor and Jane's relationship, which
doesn't line up with what they did in the last movie.
Please should have opened with that.
Yeah. That'd have been way better.
Yeah. Because we know all this other stuff, who died and who Thor is, and we never really got to see their relationship on screen through
anything, really.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they broke up right before. The way they explain it is like they broke up right before Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they haven't seen each other in like 7 years?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years, but technically 3 because she got blipped.
She did.
So 8 years, but 3 for her. No,
I didn't.
8 years
I didn't know.
yeah.
I forgot she got blipped.
Whatever the math is there.
If it would have been 8, she was blipped for 5. So for her, it's been 3 years. For him, it's been 8. Go.
That's it.
Yep. I'm terrible at math, so I'm surprised I got that.
Maths.
So Thor goes to fight Korg in the center of the universe. Is that where eternity is? Is that what they say?
Yeah, at the center of the universe is where eternity lies. I don't really explain what that is in the movie.
Nope, it seems like a place that just is somewhere, and you just know where to go.
I love that it's a secret.
Yeah,
they just know where it is. There's no explanation of why haven't you guys gone here? Like, I don't know, maybe you just don't, but
yeah. Also, how does he get? How does he get there? He doesn't have Stormbreaker anymore.
The Thunderbolt can teleport.
Thunderbolt takes him. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Also, I'm going to go ahead and give you my other problem with this movie.
All right.
I don't know a lot about comics, but I know one thing. Christian Bale's great. They should have put Beta Ray Bill in this. That's all.
Yes.
I thought for sure it was going to happen.
He was teased in the last movie.
That would have been rad, man. Like,
make him a citizen of Asgard.
That would have been phenomenal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't do it.
Ugh. So he goes to meet Korg at the center of the universe.
Gore,
that's his name.
You're wanting him to kill Korg, but he's already dead.
Korg got knocked out, and I was like, good. But no, they recover his face because,
his face lived.
Of course. Taika had to be in this movie a little bit more. He confronts him and gives, it's pretty cool, those little kids that get power from Thor.
Yeah, it was great. I'm still,
cool.
Like a recent movie of ours, I'm just like, all right, enough of the kids. I don't care. But it was great. That entire fight scene was fantastic.
Yeah. So they fight, and eventually Jane shows up on a unicorn. Pegasus. Valkyrie's Pegasus.
No, yeah, you're right. Pegasus.
Yeah. And
it's a fast Pegasus. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I assume it went through a portal. Who knows?
Yeah.
They fight. They break the blade somehow. I forgot.
He's holding the blade because he splits the Thunderbolt in half and has it like X'd.
That's right.
And she throws the hammer and it cracks it. But she realizes he's going to call the hammer back because she catches the handle.
Mm-hmm.
So she splits up Mjolnir, and all the rubble catches all the fragments of it, and she destroys it. I hate myself that I knew all that, but it's all right.
But the door to eternity opens, and she's called down lightning and like kind of sacrifices herself to destroy the Necro Sword. Gore walks in there and has some kind of monologue.
Yeah, he goes in there to talk about how I can't remember. He has to make his wish because he's there.
Yeah.
And so all three of them are there, and he's telling them like he has to do it. And the worst thing in the world is love. Love will save everything, Harry.
Well, I mean, in this situation, it's like,
yeah,
he turns his back on Gore, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Dude, you won. I love her. I'd rather spend my last moments with her instead of you. So do what you got to do."
But Foster is moved by that display of her dying. I mean, no, Gore's display by her dying.
Mm-hmm.
And so he makes the wish to bring back his daughter, whose name is apparently Love.
Yeah. Why not? It's in the title. It's Thor, Love, and Thunder.
And part of that, he promises to take care of his daughter.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? This was a dumb movie. Nothing happened.
That's Chris Hemsworth's real life daughter. So
yeah, that's cool too. And I think his sons are in it too.
Oh yeah, his son, one of his sons plays his younger version that's running through the woods as like that growing up montage. Yeah.
So they go back. The kids go back. We get the montage of him cooking pancakes or flat, whatever he calls them. Flapjacks or flat packs?
I think he calls them flapjacks.
Okay. Maybe I just didn't understand them, or I was done with the movie and didn't care.
It's probably a combination of the two.
They go off to fight the big adventure known as Thunder and Love.
Known as Thunder and Love.
Yeah, movie ends. Then you get the end credits aren't bad on this. You get Hercules
pretty good
showing up.
You get Roy Kent as Hercules.
Roy Kent.
Whistle.
They're never going to do anything with that.
Nope.
Nope. Just like everything else they've set up, they never do anything with it. The only thing they've ever done and went through with that was a wild one was Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with Adam Warlock. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And then Foster's still alive and she meets Heimdall.
Heimdall in Valhalla.
Is Loki there too?
Doubt it.
I didn't watch it again. I couldn't remember if it was both of them or just Heimdall.
It's just Heimdall.
Okay.
I think Loki was supposed to be in this.
I think so too.
I think Loki has been rumored to show up in several of these movies with like a TVA kind of thing behind him. Which would be pretty awesome and would tie this whole Phase 4 thing together that y'all were working towards.
They got to do something to tie it together, because if not, I don't know. It's just going to be a mess. And Phase 5 is going to be just a pause.
A rumor that Owen Wilson is in Deadpool 3.
I saw that. He was on set, but
yeah,
just because you're on set doesn't mean you're doing anything.
I know, but like you're not just a random actor that just shows up on set for no reason.
Well, Russell Crowe was supposed to be Wolverine.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
The original, so maybe he'll show up. I'd love that.
Puffy Wolverine.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So that's Thor: Love and Thunder. Just
5.2.
You had a 4.
There are a couple of scenes. I mean, I'd give it like a 3. There's a couple of scenes where I'm like, I enjoyed that. That whole fight scene on the Shadow Realm.
Yes, great. Yeah, it's very well shot. And
I think the Marvel world or the cinematic universe. I keep forgetting you say MCU, but they need to have a genre bending movie. Every movie's the same thing pretty much now. Like, do something, do like a noir, do something really dark or crazy. But
well, did you watch Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus?
Yeah, do that.
That was so out of left field and awesome.
Blew me away.
Do more of these Disney Plus specials. Like, make a bunch of short films.
Too bad they're not, because they're killing all that, man.
Yeah. Like, that's what they should have done instead of all these TV shows, is make dedicated short movies. Boom, 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 quick little adventures.
I think almost every one of these shows, it would be a better short movie because there's so much fluff in all of them. So,
well, WandaVision was like the only one that worked as a TV show, in my opinion.
But that was part of the theme, so it was perfect.
Yeah.
Loki,
as much as I love Loki, the first season, like that could have been like a full movie.
Yeah. Which I don't understand. You spent the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Making it. I'm guessing if you have Disney Plus, there's 8 episodes. That's 2 months. That's $20. That's a lot more money you're making than a ticket at a box office.
Mm-hmm.
But
doubt it.
I don't know, man. It's weird.
It's also like how many people are watching it. That's what they really care about on streaming.
Yeah.
And no streaming service unless the studios come back and negotiate. Like, they're never going to release their numbers. So we move on to what we watching. We kind of discussed this before we started.
Succession.
Oh yeah,
definitely watching that now. It's not for everybody. It is weird, and I'm down for it. Man, I think that's it. I don't think I've really been watching. I've watched just random bullcrap, and that's probably the only consistent thing that I've done.
Secret Invasion for me was just like I told you just before we started, but it was just a big disappointment.
Which makes me, I'm gonna watch it at some point, but knowing how everybody, not just you, has been like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to do this. But,
and I'm usually like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But this was like, ugh. If anything, you should watch Andor before that, because Andor is so much better.
Yeah, I think I'm going to switch them around. That's originally I was going to watch Secret Invasion, get that out, but I have a good feeling that it doesn't. Secret Invasion's not going to tie into anything else, is it?
Nope.
So that's where I'm like, I don't even care if I watch it now.
I mean, it ends with like this character, and it's like with kind of big implications, but I know they're never going to go anywhere with it. It's like, okay, she is what? How? What now? But Hijack on Apple TV with Idris Elba.
Yeah, I've been getting ads for it. So that's pretty good.
Oh, it's the best.
Okay.
How
long are the episodes? Hour?
45 minutes.
45. Okay.
The last one premieres tonight, the finale.
Series or season?
The series. Seven episodes.
Good for them.
Yeah. I'm like I said, after this, I'm gonna watch the finale.
Oh, you know what? I finished Barry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, finished Barry. That
good,
last
right?
episode. Yeah, it was good. It just threw me off of.
That's what that whole show does, man.
Yeah, the whole last season. Like, I expected to be thrown off on stuff, and I'm not spoiling anything, but there's a time skip.
Yeah, like I thought that was a flash forward. Yeah, I thought it was a dream or a flash forward or something, but it's like, no, we just jumped time.
Yeah, I was shocked. But
Bill Hader directed that entire final season.
You can tell.
Yeah. So good. But
it was good. I just my downside is what I hope he does something else, just
I think
that came out of left field. So
it was such a simple story and a lot of dark comedy and that comedy and drama that it's an example of comedy and drama working very well together.
Yeah, and it's a lot of comedy you've got to find.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be funny, but you really got to
they'll make a joke, but you got to keep up with what's going on. You can't think about that joke. You got to keep going. So all right, that's it for this week.
Oh.
As you can see, Jake's ecstatic.
Sorry. I'm so tired. Yeah, Ant-Man next week, Quantumanium. So I'm excited. So when I saw Ant-Man Quantumanium, and I'll probably repeat this and not remember I said it, saw it in 3D, the movie was out of focus. I didn't really watch the movie. I think
so this will be your first time watching it.
Yeah, pretty much, because I couldn't make anything out. My eyes were messing up too. I think Logan either put up with it or could follow it better, or is where I was sitting maybe. But man, I pretty much didn't watch it, so I'm excited about it.
All right, well, if you have a suggestion for another movie we should do, you can send that to secondtakemoviespod@gmail.com. You can follow us on social media on Instagram and Threads at Second Take Movies in both places. And we'll see you next week for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Jake, any last words?
I don't know. Crap your pants, man.
Crap your pants. We'll see y'all next week.